Yeah, yeah.
Hi everyone. So I'm here with Tony and Theresa today, and I've been hearing about Theresa's story about how her dad has changed his life around recently, and I'm really excited to chat with Tony and Theresa and find out more about it. Hi Tony. Hi Theresa.
Hi.
Hello.
So who wants to start? Do you want to start, Theresa, and just tell us a little bit about the history of your dad and how he hadn't been very well?
Yep. So, Dad, it's always been very self-sufficient, looking after himself, very proud man, very dignified. And from from March of this year,
Come on.
from March, April of this year, he started with well, conditions that were making him very confused, and he was struggling a lot. We've had 5 hospital admissions since April. Numerous, well, I can't count on one hand how many, how many sitting in hospital waiting rooms for hours on end, overnight in A&E. It's just been, hasn't it, one thing after another. We've had 5 specialities looking after him. We've had the geriatrician round, and yeah, at one point my dad can't remember, but he was very, very poorly, and I was concerned that he wasn't going to come home. He's on medications, obviously, which are keeping him alive. And he has sort of like, it reached a certain level where, yeah, he was okay and he was manageable. And then I started him on the LLV. 2 weeks into it, it did actually get worse. And I was thinking, oh my God, but he was just detoxing. And I kept thinking, if we can keep through this, if we can push through it, then, we're going to get to the end of the month. And by the end of the 4 weeks, nothing had changed medication wise. So I know it wasn't anything extra that he was taking from the sort of the normal route, the allopathic route. It was obviously something else that he was doing. And he just seemed to, he was walking better without his Zimmer frame, which frightens me to death. You were a lot more compos mentis cognitively. It's made a huge difference. I mean, people are ringing him up now, whereas before they'd just ring me and they'd sort of say, like, I'm ringing you because your dad really doesn't make any sense on the phone. We can't understand what he's saying. So people are actually speaking to my dad now because he can hold a conversation. The carers were coming in and like, wow, what's up with your dad? What have you done? So yeah, people are noticing. We went out yesterday, didn't we? And the neighbor was commenting on how well you were looking.
Oh, yes, no.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling, Tony, now? How, obviously, having Theresa change your plan and your journey of giving you these nutritional supplements, how are you feeling?
Lively,
Yeah.
much brighter. And as Theresa says, being able to enjoy a conversation um, much more than I used to. I can't really say much more than that.
Well, you mobility. I mean, you were in a wheelchair, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had an appointment yesterday at the hospital, and we just took his walker, and we couldn't have done that 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
And we were on a call yesterday, Theresa and I, and you popped your head into the call and you were quite happy walking along and being able to get into the conversation, which is absolutely great because I've known Theresa for a while now. So I've known how poorly you were and times when Theresa said, I'm in hospital with my dad. And it's just amazing. It's just so exciting to see that you can do these things. And one thing Theresa said to the other day is, I've got my dad back because I went out into town and I took him for, I don't know if it's a coffee or a hot chocolate. And that's amazing. And
You're making me all emotional now.
yeah. And the change, yes, you've had to invest in this because you're having to pay for it yourself. But what did you say was the other option, Theresa?
Well, carrying on down the route he was on, he was sort of only going in one direction, and we were frightened about the fact that I wasn't going to be able to cope with him, and the worst thing for my dad, and the thing that I have sworn that I would try to do not to do, is to put him in a home. But this comes to a level where you can only do so much at home, and it was a case of, well, eventually that probably would have been a possibility. So with the LLV and all the other supplements is on turmeric as well, it's just enabling him to stay at home, which is just amazing.
And you were saying something like a month's cost is over £5,500, and I think that's actually quite cheap in your location compared with what I'm hearing from other people.
Right, yeah, about 5,500 to pop him in a care home.
Yeah,
and it's just something that I promised him that we won't do that, and we just don't want to go down that route. So
No.
if we can do anything that we can, and well, I'm just blown away, absolutely blown away by the difference in him, and people are noticing it, aren't they?
Apparently, yeah.
And you were telling me earlier how you like to do your washing up, and you're now peeling your own vegetables and all of those sort of things. So
I could do without the helpers.
see, and that's another thing. Theresa and I discussed how she said, well, actually, you can reduce down the carers now, and you're actually saving money by the route that we're going with doTERRA and taking your supplements than costing you money.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Um,
a brainer, really, when you look at and it's giving him his independence back, isn't it? Whereas before, when he was at his worst, he was shuffling through on his Zimmer frame 4 or 5 times in an evening. Phil and I trying to watch a film, and we'd hear his door going, and he'd be there again, and he was so confused. He was asking us really silly questions, and he couldn't do any cooking. He just couldn't get his head around the timings of things, and now he's getting stroppy and agitated and shouting at people to leave him alone. So we know he's getting better.
you want your independence back, Tony. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could manage lunch and tea on my own. Morning and evening, dressing and dressing in the morning and undressing in the evening. I do need help. Anything below waistline is difficult, and in some cases not possible. So yes, I am dependent on those 2 scores.
Yeah.
But lunch and tea, I could cope, but Theresa won't have it.
Well, at the moment, we're getting better, so maybe we'll drop lunchtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been on it about 2 months now, and it's like an accumulative thing. So he's getting better every day. So yeah, we could look at that.
I do feel a marked improvement since going on to the doTERRA. Certainly, I must be honest.
Brilliant. And you've got to also, people have got to remember that they say, oh, I eat well, but nutritionally, it's very difficult nowadays to get the nutrition you want. So I think they now say you need to eat 16 apples now to get the same nutrition that you got from 1 apple in 1970.
Wow.
So the soil is depleted of the nutrients. It's so terrible. So as much as we're saying, oh, I'm eating really well, I must be getting my nutrition from it. We all know, and Theresa, because I know you take these supplements as well. If you don't take them, you do feel rotten because your body realizes the nutrition that it needs. And it's so, so important that we look after our health. Even the younger generation, give that nutrition back. But look where you are now, Tony, after 2 months of this. Where are we going to be in 2 months' time? Hopefully you're going to be even further forward.
Well, I'll be skipping around like a gazelle.
I'll be waiting for that interview, ready to see you. You're skipping around. Did we touch on how old you are? Are you happy to share that, or can we put an age category in?
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
93.
92.
92.
No, I was born in 31, and
Yeah.
it's 4 now.
23.
Yeah,
The
we're not
90
quite there yet, but you
90
will be soon.
yeah,
So,
90. But
mhm.
he's on, as well as the LLV, I've also got him on Terrazyme and the PB Assist for his tummy. Oh, another thing as well, I'll tell you about that. PB Assist and the turmeric. And I think the turmeric, it noticed a huge difference since the turmeric
Yeah.
with his mobility. I
So
mean,
is he
I'm
on,
not sorry.
sorry, is he on the turmeric duo capsules?
Yeah,
Yeah, so the turmeric duo capsules, for anyone watching, they're oil and powder together. So the capsule is encapsulated. So it means the powder will get right into the gut system. Most of the time you're just taking it and it hits the tummy and it's not as impactful. Whereas this absorbs 11 times more into the body. So it's so important. And the results people are having with them is fantastic. Absolutely amazing.
And my dad's been taking turmeric and omega for God, how long? Years, probably.
Yeah.
And it really only since we started on the doTERRA that I've noticed a difference. Yeah, definite difference. And the PB Assist, one of the reasons that we ended up in hospital was my dad hadn't emptied his bowels for 15 days, and so it was getting quite serious. So that's another reason why we ended up in hospital. But so they wanted us to pop him on sort of a low dose laxative every day, which you weren't really happy about, were you? But the PB Assist seems to have been, I don't know whether it's the whole thing together or whether it's just that, but he's going regularly every day now. We're not even on laxatives.
And also you've got Terrazyme. Did you say you're taking Terrazyme? So Terrazyme, the digestive enzymes, so they'll be breaking down the food. That's amazing for me when I get a lot of digestion issues up here. I take 2 of those. It just neutralizes everything that's going on. Normally, if I've eaten something like rapeseed oil that's sneaked into food, that naughty, horrible, toxic oil, that doesn't do well for me. So I have to take Terrazyme to help me. But it's just amazing to hear your story. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for you sharing it, because, you know, you can help more people this way too.
On his own account now, getting monthly orders.
Now you'll be getting your free points. So by using this, you'll be getting your free points, and then you can get other things that, you know, have you got your diffuser going in your bedroom?
We have, because obviously the carers come in coughing and snuffling everywhere, and we've got the On Guard going all the time. And as well as the carers coming in and saying, oh, it smells lovely in here. You know, I've got it going in my dad's, because we've got like a granny flat. We live together in the same house, really, but my dad's got his own apartment, as you can see. So we have On Guard going in here. I have On Guard in my conservatory, kitchen and lounge. So the whole house smells beautiful. And really, touch wood, you've not really been poorly, have you? I mean, the carers are coming in, snuffling and going off sick and everything, and you've been all right, haven't you?
I'm not pushing on.
No, exactly. We don't want to say it, but you've not really had any illnesses compared to the amount of germs that have been around him.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have. Yes, I have thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that must be the case for so many people having carers come in. You know, the diffuser is key to strengthen that natural immune system, like you said, using On Guard in there to just help people. And the more we can share these stories, the more people we're going to help, because so many people just don't have any idea about, actually, you need to look at your nutrition. You need to look at reducing inflammation in your body. You need to help yourself. Digestive enzymes, you know, all that food builds up. It's going to cause toxin in the body. Got to get rid of it. So all amazing. So thank you both very much. I really appreciate your time. And
You're welcome.
2 months time, Tony, I'm going to wait for seeing you skipping around. We'll be getting closer to maybe springtime.
Spring lamb.
Thanks very much, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.